Pat, all I can say is a good thing they didn't break my nose. There'll be a couple of broken noses out there pretty quick.
Ethel, under the circumstances, that indicates a lot more guts than sense.
Hey, y'all, come on in. The meeting's gonna start in just a few minutes. We just got held up, that's all.
What's going on?
Plenty.
Well, all right. I think that's it. Nothing broken, just a few cuts and bruises.
Ethel, was there a knife?
No. My face hit the sidewalk when he threw me down. Pat, thanks for coming over so fast, okay?
Mm-hmm. You mind if I stay for the meeting?
No, the more the merrier.
Somebody mugged Ethel a little while ago, just down the block.
Somebody, nothing. We all know who did it.
Did you see him?
I didn't need to see them. It was Martin Powell's goons, and I would make a bet on that.
Sure it was, and we know why. It was because we're meeting and organizing, and they don't like it. Who's gonna be next? That's what I want to know. I got kids.
Pipe down, Dottie. We all got kids. Why do you think it was the landlord? Maybe you just plain got mugged.
No way, Bill.
No, they didn't take her purse. Well, they took it, but she found it half a block away.
Yeah, full of money. Well, as full as it ever is. There was $22 cash in there.
Well, listen, sit down, Dottie. Now, did they say anything to you, Ethel?
Look, I heard somebody say Ethel, and when I turned around, they jumped me. The next thing I knew, I was on the ground.
They were waiting for her. She left Eric at a friend's house, which is what, a block away from here?
Right. It's the opposite of this building, next block over. Now, I came back around that corner the same way I walked there, and there's this dark patch in front of 861. And the light's supposed to be on in that courtyard there.
That one of the buildings in question?
Yes. 861 Corbett. The lights are one of the complaints.
Yeah, the two of them jumped me, the no-good suckers.
Look, I hate to say it, but maybe Dottie's right.
No.
No.
I'm with Bill.
What? Look, the reason Ethel got hurt is because the landlord is scared, and he's scared because we are doing the right thing here. If you all stop now, you're gonna have to take whatever C&P Realty dishes out, which means no heat, no hot water, no security, and nothing you can do about it.
Yeah? What are you gonna do about it if you're dead?
Finelli, you're talking scared.
Yeah, well, you're damn right I'm scared. I'm not crazy.
All right. I'm not stopping with this thing. I'm not gonna back down. You're supposed to be my friend.
Relax.
You promised that you'd help me here, and I'm going to hold you to that promise. And I'm asking you to let us go on with this meeting. And anything that you have to say to me, you can say later in private.
I have a lot to say to you.
Fine. Later. Dorothy, why don't we hear the facts on your building? Okay. Now, in Dorothy's building, we've got 8 out of the 12 tenants paying their money into an escrow account. Bill's got 7 out of 10. And Eddie, you've got 6 out of 12. You're going to have to give those people a real push to get a majority over there. With Joanne, we've got 3 to go in your place. And Gracie and Yvonne, 9 out of 10, and that's fantastic. So far, C&P haven't done anything about the complaints.
They sent some creep around saying no rent, no heat.
Yeah, well, that's illegal for the reasons that we discussed. Now, when news of what's happened to Ethel gets around, you're all bound to get a lot of flack. But it is up to you. People are going to want to withdraw their money from the escrow account and pay it back to the landlord. But it is up to each one of you to try and talk those people out of that and to try and get the other renters in your buildings to join in. Because the greater the participation, the greater each of our strengths. Dottie, if there's something that you don't agree with, please speak up. That's what this meeting's about.
Look, you don't have to live there. I do, and I'm scared.
Smart lady.
If you want the truth, I am too, a little bit. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to give up. No, I don't live here, but I got a threat too. I got a note in the mail that said that I was a troublemaker and I should stay out of other people's business. But I think that this is my business. I read something by a Russian author named Solzhenitsyn, which has been so important to me that I never forgot it. It was something about how the earth is too crowded for anything to be internal affairs anymore. He said, the only hope for humanity is in everyone concerning himself with everything everywhere, and that means that when people are in trouble, it is everybody's business. And I only hope that each of you cares about more than just the boiler in your particular building. That's all.
Okay. Well, you heard what the lady said. Now, if she's willing to stick her neck out for us, I think the least we can do is hang in there tough, too. Hey, I want everybody to go back to their building and talk to the other tenants about joining up. We'll see. Once Mr. Powell and his cronies see that we're not afraid of him, he'll change his tone. You'll see, I promise. I'm gonna walk them out, okay? Come on.
All right, what's going on?
From where I stand, it looks like you're trying to get yourself killed, to say nothing of Ethel and Bill and Dorothy.
Come on, stop that. It's not fair, and you know it.
Fair? Siobhan, think. Engage your brain. Somebody, presumably C&P Realty, feels secure enough to send a threatening note to the sister of a United States senator and beat up his neighborhood task force leader. Seems pretty clear. The thing to do is to stop and find out who and what C&P Realty is and why they think they can do what they've been doing.
Honey, he's right. Now, you've got to call Bob, then just call the precinct. Now, what's this about a threatening note?
The note's the reason I came with it.
Yeah, I purposely didn't show this to the family.
You're getting in too deep.
You see? That is why I did not show this to the family.
I am not telling you what to do. They're playing for real, and you have got to be careful.
I am being careful, Pat, and he's my bodyguard. Hey, Ethel. How we doing?
Well, I think it went pretty well, all things considered. Where do we go from here?
Well, I think now is the time that we confront Mr. Pyle, goon that he is.
Siobhan, you're out of your mind.
I think we go directly to him and we say, look it, Buster, we know what you're up to. It's not gonna work. So you just call off your goons.
Siobhan, what do you expect him to do?
I expect him to back off a little.
Come on.
Jack, he knows we know what he is up to, and when he realizes it's not gonna work, and he knows that he's gonna get in for some very unwelcome publicity, he's gonna find that it's in his interest to quit.
Where is this unwelcome publicity going to come from?
From your column.
I'm sorry, honey, but count me out. At least until we find out who we're dealing with.
Listen, Siobhan, I think if we're going to have a meeting with Mr. Powell, it should be on our own turf. I'm going to try to set up a meeting, okay? How about tomorrow evening?
Yeah, it's fine with me. Can you be there?
I could, but I won't. Neither should you, or you.
Okay. If I can't count on you, I know a journalist I can call.
Who?
Wes Leonard.
Kevin, how long has it been since you've been back to Limerick?
Oh, about 7 years, I'm afraid, John. But I was thinking of taking a trip this fall, if it's convenient for yourself and Maeve.
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't know why not. You see, I didn't get there at all the 2 times I was in Ireland. Too busy courting Maeve to take much heed of the countryside. It's not far from Skibbereen, is it?
Oh, about 30 kilometers and a bit to the north. Limerick is a lovely place, doing well for itself these days. You might drop in and see the cousins when yourself and Maeve go over there. And don't forget the ones in Ballyneety.
Ah, we'd love it. So tell me about the farms over there. What are they like?
Ah, they're lovely, John. They're lush and verdant green.
Right.
The land is improving all the time, I can tell you. No more of that one-crop nonsense. They're planting the grains and sugar beets. Do you know they plant enough beets now to supply sugar for the whole of Ireland?
No kidding.
Intelligent planning, that's what it is. And loads of livestock, you know, sheep and cows, and dairy sales are soaring. And so the land, I tell you, is flourishing, John.
That's terrific. Terrific to hear. I mean, I heard that things were much better over there. But I somewhere remember people saying that farming hadn't quite caught up with the rest of it.
Oh, no. Oh, it's doing fine.
So I guess you say that an investment in Irish agriculture might be a smart thing, huh?
An investment? Now, what would that mean?
Well, I know. Suppose you had a nice piece of land and a house and a barn, just waiting for some improvements to turn the whole thing into a profitable venture again. All right, I'm thinking of putting some money into the Colery farm.
How much?
Quite a bit, enough to get it working again.
Don't be daft,
What
John.
do you mean? You just told me how flourishing everything is over there now.
Well, I was speaking in general terms, but this is a specific situation. I mean, you don't go put money into things without investigating them first, do you?
But the land is good. You just said that, man.
Well, Corkland, by and large, is grand, but the Colery farm, for all you know, could just be a mass of fields with buried stone.
Come on, they've been farming that land for generations. I swear now that you've gone so sour on me, I don't know where the truth is.
The truth is this, John. It's a lovely and generous idea of yours to help out Maeve's family. And maybe with hard work, they could make the land productive enough for a living, but I just can't see them ever being able to repay you the money.
Well, there have to be profitable farms in Ireland, otherwise there wouldn't be any farms at all. Why, you saw the pictures. All right, so the house and barn can use a little work on them, but there's 35 acres of land lying fallow, just waiting to produce again.
I wish it were that easy, John, for Maeve and Annie's sake, but I'll tell you, you're dreaming. I wouldn't do it. Look, you've spent your life trying to save up a little bit of money, sending your children to college.
All right, well, what's money for if you can't do a little good with it every now and then? I mean, it's not going to kill me. I'll borrow a few bucks.
Listen.
The cash in account is good.
Until we get this settled, at least amongst ourselves, please go easy on Daddy. You can tell him about Ethel, but Pat, please don't say anything else.
I'm not promising anything.
You sure she's okay?
A few cuts and bruises. She was lucky.
An odd concept of luck you have.
There's no doubt that it was somebody associated with the realty company.
Ethel's lived in the apartment for 12 years. First time she's ever had any trouble.
Well, what kind of proof is that for
She
Nellie?
heard somebody say her name, Daddy. We're sure.
Well, nobody in this family was ever raised to be a quitter, but I am not crazy about this situation.
That's right, Johnny.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
It means that I need a few words with my brother-in-law. I'm trying to convince him to write an article on the 5 buildings in the C&P Realty Corporation.
Well, now, that's a good idea, Jack.
Please?
What's more of that, son?
Nope, it's a sandwich I'm after, because I skipped supper.
Well, listen, we got ham and roast beef in the fridge. Help yourself.
Okay.
You know, Patrick, I have to talk to you about something.
Siobhan.
No. Although it affects her. I guess it affects all of you. Which is why I want your opinion.
Okay. Shoot.
Now, what would you think if I got the money together and lent it to your mother's family to help save the Colery farm and turn it into a working proposition again?
I think that'd be incredibly generous.
Too generous?
Well, it's got to be a lot of money. How much exactly?
Well, in the neighborhood of 70,000.
Doc!
All right, hear me out. Let's hear me out. Now, I have $40,000 in negotiable stocks and bonds. I'd only sell 30 of it. I'd keep 10,000 left for family emergencies and what have you. And I could borrow the rest. My credit's good. I got this building.
This is a big undertaking, right? Now, you really want to do this?
For your mother. What do you think?
I guess you would.
I want to. From the minute I first saw that 16-year-old little girl wiping her hands on her apron with her hair all tousled and in her eyes, I knew I'd give that lady the moon if I had it. Trouble is, she's never asked.
Has she asked for this?
No, of course not. But Patrick, you've seen the look on her. When she and Annie were talking about the place, when they were looking at the pictures. I thought I could give her that kind of joy. And anyway, the whole thing would be a loan. I mean, till Maggie and Red could make the place profit again and start paying me back. And meanwhile, you kids are finished with your education. There's nothing else I'd like better to do with the money.
Well, then I think you ought to do with it what you want. And I know that the rest of the family feels the same way.
Good. Thank you. You're good, generous kids, and I love you all.
Because, you know, if you don't do what you want when you want, the chance is that it might not come around again.
Does that mean something in particular?
Well, it means that things haven't worked out between Faith and myself.
What happened?
She feels responsible. She wants to see Tom through his recovery. Not that he expects that or wants it. He doesn't. But she insists that he's got to come back home with her. Just so the immigration people think they're married.
Well, I can see how she'd be concerned. I mean, if you got any better ideas.
I was going to work something out with Frank.
Oh, sure. Maybe you could get him to help with the immigration people.
Right. Push the petition through. I mean, I already talked to Ray and Bob about it. All set. But, you know, Faith, she feels totally responsible.
Like you did with Delia once.
And I was wrong.
Look, son, did you really think that Faith, the girl we've both known for a very long time, would react any differently?
I thought I could find a solution. One that would keep us free to come back together again. I did. But she thought I was running her life, trying to rescue her again.
And is there any truth in that?
I don't know, maybe. A little. Oh, it's just so hard to change old patterns. I mean, there she was in trouble, and I ride right in on my white horse. The fact is that she doesn't need or want rescuing, and she is still another man's wife.
I sense that you're upset. And I think I understand what you're talking about. But the reason that I want to go and see Pyle is because I think these guys are cowards. They're all cowards, and I think we can call their bluff.
Siobhan, at best, that is a very sophomoric hope.
Please don't be sarcastic.
What do you want me to do? The way I see it, you're determined to risk your neck and a lot of other people's safety, and you want Wes Leonard and me to write an eyewitness account at the slaughter.
You really don't like Wes Leonard, do you?
Yeah. I think Wes Leonard is a competent journalist and basically a very rotten human being.
Oh, I don't know if that's true. After all, he was rather shaken when he found out how much trouble he got me in with that column he wrote on Frank.
Shaken, he was dead drunk. I thought you knew that when you pasted him one that night.
I acted out of impulse, but it was perfectly clear that you and he were both rather under the weather. And he fessed up.
Under duress.
Whatever. He apologized. And he continues to apologize about twice a week.
I didn't know that you were talking to him.
I'm not. But as I told you, he's the one who's trying to communicate. And after all, he did send me flowers for Groundhog's Day, for Pete's sake. So I guess the least I can do is acknowledge his effort.
It's a trap.
Why are you so down on him?
I know the type. I used to be one.
Ah, well, there you are. Anything is possible. If my sister was able to preside over your conversion to a decent human being, maybe I can do the same for Wes.
Don't kid yourself. When a snake sheds its skin, underneath there's another snake. Look, this is neither here nor there. I won't say anything to Johnny tonight, but I want you to rethink going to that meeting tomorrow, and I want you especially to rethink any call to Wes Leonard. And call Frank before you do anything. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Every weekend, girls just want to have fun. It's Gilmore Girls on SoapNet. Catch back-to-back episodes of one of TV's most popular shows. Saturday nights at 9 and Sundays at 6. Gilmore Girls on SoapNet.